Okay, hello everyone, and today is the start of my new tutorial series on making an RPG game in Unity3D in C#. So the first thing I did was I created a new project and I named it RPG game. I made an empty project and I just saved it on my desktop. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go to our assets folder and go to create folder. We'll name this folder scenes. Okay, we'll press Control and S or Command and S to save our scene, and this is going to be our tutorial scene for when our player starts. Tutorial scene with an underscore. Okay, it should save in our scenes folder, as you can see, and then we'll go to Assets, create another folder, and we'll name it Player. In the player folder, we will create a C# script and we will name it player as well. Okay, and we'll open it up in our default editor. So once you go to your player script, it should open up, as you can see. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of monitor behavior and clean up the script a little bit. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is add another using statement. Using system.collections.generic, and this will be useful for our inventory because we will be using a list. So the first thing we're going to do is create public static int. No, we'll make it a float cur health. We'll copy this. Okay, we'll make a max health. Next we're going to do is copy this part just to make it easier. We're going to make a current magic. Okay, we're going to make a max magic. We want to make EXP, so we'll make EXP an integer. Well, let's make it a float, yeah, because the higher the level the player is, the more XP he's going to need to get to the next level. So we're going to make it EXP. We're going to have public. This can be an integer. Public integer level. So this is the player's current level. We're going to skip a line. And we're going to do public. Well, we'll comment this out because we haven't added our item system yet. We're going to do public static list. And this list is going to be a list of items once we add the item class. Excuse me. Inventory. Okay. And it's going to be equal to a new list of items. Okay. So once we add our item class, we will uncomment this line out. But if we don't, if we don't comment it out, we'll just have some errors because we haven't created the item class yet. And the next thing we'll have is skills. I believe. Should we have a skills? We'll get to that in a later tutorial. But the next thing we should have is, I think that's it for now. If you would like me to add something else, just leave it in the comments below. So we'll save this off, go into our editor, and delete our main camera. Okay. Whoops. Delete our main camera. We're going to go to our assets, create another folder. We're going to name it prefabs. We're going to right click and create another folder in prefabs and name it player. Okay, we're going to go to game object, create other, empty game object. We'll just create empty. we're going to name this player. Okay, we will go to our prefabs and player folder and go to create prefab, and we will name this prefab player. We'll drag our player onto the player prefab. Okay, save our scene, go to game object, create other, a cube. This cube will be our floor for now. We'll switch to a terrain later. Reset its position, go to our player and reset its position as well. Apply the changes. Save our scene, go to the cube, and we'll scale it up by 100 by 0.01 by 100. Okay. We'll save our scene as usual. Create another cube and drag it onto our player. Click on the cube and reset its position. Zoom in on the cube and pull it up just above the surface of the floor and resize its Y scale by 2. And that means we have to resize its position on the Y by 1.1. Okay. We'll rename this cube floor, the first cube. So we'll name it floor. No, we'll rename it ground. Okay. And we'll name the player cube body. Okay. We will go to game object, create other camera. This camera will be the player camera. So we'll just name it player camera. Go to our player folder in our prefabs. Go to create prefab. We will name this one player camera. We'll drag our player camera onto the prefab. Okay. Go back to our player and apply the changes that we have made. Save our scene. The next thing we're going to do is click on our player camera, open up our player hierarchy, drag our player camera onto the body, and reset its position. Okay, so we're going to drag it up a little bit to 0.6, and we're going to drag it back to 0.10. No, just a 10, negative 10. Okay, drag it to a negative 10. We're going to bring it up some and rotate it towards the player. We're going to go to game object, create other, directional light, and reset its position. On the Y position, we'll bring it up 100, and on the X rotation, we'll put it to 25 degrees. Okay, go back to our player camera and rotate a little bit more and bring it up a little bit more. So we'll be looking at the player. Okay, we'll drag it outside of the body so it'll be on its own. Apply the change. Well, first thing we're going to do is change this Y-axis to 6.5, the Z-axis to negative 10, and the scale be 111. Okay. Change its rotation to, I guess, 20 degrees to round it up. And then we'll apply the changes. Save our scene. Change this directional light to sun. And we will change this later to make it more realistic. And this concludes the end of our first episode. I hope you learned something today, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.